Hello everyone, how are you? Hope you all are doing great. Today in this video, I am going to show you how to configure extender and extended ACL, right? So we have one topology as you can see over here. This is my network, right? Here is two server, right? This is my HTTP server, and this is my DNS server. And I am running network in this LAN is 10.0.0.0/8, right? And I am running network between R1 and R2 is 20.0.0.0, between R2 to R3 30, between R3 to R4 40, right? And I will configure IP address on the PC1 is 10.1, PC2 to 10.2, PC3 to 10.3, and I will configure 10.10 on this interface, right? On the interface of Fast Ethernet 0/0 of R1. So for these user, default gateway will be 10.10. Okay. After that, we have some task, right? So actually, I want that this user can access my HTTP server. So we need connectivity between these router. So I will run OSPF. Configure OSPF for connectivity. Task 1 is configure OSPF for connectivity. So I will configure OSPF on router 1, router 2 and router 3. Then you have to check is there connectivity from LAN 1 to server. This user is able to ping server or not. So this user must be able to ping this server. Task number 1, right? This user, all PCs should be able to access DNS and DHCP server. Fine. Now task number 3. Task number 1 is configure OSPF for connectivity. Task number 2 is all PCs should be able to access DNS and HTTP server. Task number 3. Enable Telnet or SSH on R3. Enable Telnet or SSH on R3. Okay. Now task 4 is PC1 must not be able to access R3 via Telnet. Okay. So PC1 will not able to access R3 via Telnet, and you have condition you should configure extended ACL, right? Achieve this task by implementing extended ACL. Okay. And task number 4 is PC1 must not be able to access HTTP server and apply extended ACL to perform this task. Okay. I will configure extended ACL so that PC1 will not be able to access HTTP server, right? And last task will be PC2 and PC3 must be able to access HTTP server. So okay, I'm fine. Let me draw this topology on packet tracer and let me configure IP address first, right? So I am going to configure 10.0.0.0/8 here. Okay. 20.0.0.0/8 here. 30.0.0.0/8 and 40.0.0.0/8 over here. Okay. So I will configure 20's network between R1 and R2, 30's network between R2 to R3, and 40 network for my this LAN for the network where my server is connected. Okay. And I will configure 40.10 on the interface of Fast Ethernet 0/1 of router 3. So default gateway for this server is 40.10. Okay. So now first let me configure IP address to PC. IP address will be 10.0.0.1. Okay. Sorry, 10.0.0.1. What happened? (10.0.0.1) static this IP address is already used. Okay, so I think this PC is already using this IP address, right? Yeah, so I have to configure 10.2 to this PC, right? And now let me configure 10.1 to PC1. Okay, so 10.0.0.1, subnet mask is 255 and default gateway will be 10.0.0.10. Fine. And DNS IP address, suppose the IP address of DNS is 40.0.0.2. okay, 40.0.0.2. so I will configure 40.2 to DNS server, 40.0.0.2 to DNS, and 40.0.0.1 to my HTTP server. Okay, now let me configure IP address on PC2. so default gateway will be, IP address will be 10.2, subnet mask is 255.0.0.0, default gateway will be 10.0.0.10, and DNS IP address is 40.0.0.2. Fine. Let me configure IP address on PC3. so IP address is 10.0.0.3, subnet mask will be 255.0.0.0, default gateway will be 10.0.0.10, and DNS is 40.0.0.2. okay, now let me configure IP address on the interface of router first. So enable configure terminal interface fast Ethernet 0/0, no shutdown. IP address will be 10.0.0.10, subnet mask will be 255.0.0.0. okay, exit interface fast Ethernet 0/1, no shutdown. IP address 20.0.0.1 255.0.0.0, exit. IP configuration is done on R1. Let me configure IP on R2. so no enable configure terminal interface fast Ethernet 0/0, no shutdown. IP address will be 20.0.0.2 255.0.0.0, exit interface fast Ethernet 0/1, no shutdown. IP address will be 30.0.0.1 255.0.0.0, and let me change the host name of this router. so host name is R2. okay, let me change the host name of this router as well, R1, host name R1. Fine. Now let me configure IP address on router 3. so no enable configure terminal interface fast Ethernet 0/0, no shutdown. IP address will be 30.0.0.2 255.0.0.0, exit interface fast Ethernet 0/1, no shutdown. IP address will be 40.0.0.10 255.0.0.0, exit. Let me ping R2. so 30.0.0.1. so let me check my I am able to ping my neighbor router or not. So yes, I am able to. 80% is success, right? 100% is success. So let me configure IP address to the server, DHCP server. This is my DHCP server. DHCP server, no, this is my HTTP server, sorry. This is my HTTP server. So IP address is 40.0.0.1. Subnet mask will be 255.0.0.0 and default gateway will be 40.0.0.10. DNS IP address will be 40.0.0.2. okay, fine. Now let me give IP address to DNS server. So 40.0.0.2, default gateway will be 40.0.0.10. DNS server, no need to provide IP address on. So let me check my first task. Okay, so we need to configure OSPF for the connectivity, right, between R1 to R3. So let me configure OSPF on R1 first. Okay, so go to R1. Okay, interface, fast Ethernet. Okay, no, interface range, fast Ethernet 0/0 to 1, 0/0 to 1, right, and enable OSPF. I'm enabling OSPF here. So IP OSPF, process ID and area will be 0. So I will configure R1, R2, R3, these 3 router in area 0, right. I will put this all router in area 0 because I am configuring OSPF for just for connectivity. Okay, so OSPF is enabled now on R1, right. So IP OSPF, right. Now let me configure OSPF on R2. So to configure OSPF on R2, I have to go interface range, fast Ethernet 0/0 to 1, fast Ethernet 0/0, interface range, fast Ethernet 0/0 to 1, IP OSPF, process ID, area 0, right. Now let me configure OSPF on R3. Configure interface range, fast Ethernet 0/0 to 1. Okay, IP OSPF, process ID and area 0, right. So now guys, we have connectivity. So IP OSPF neighbor, right. Just wait for some time and you can see neighbor is 30.1, fine. So let me ping 10.1 from this router, ping 10.0.0.1 to check am I able to ping 10.1 or not. Is there connectivity from 10.1 to R3 or not. Okay, let me ping from here, from this PC. Okay, first we need to check connectivity to my default gateway. So my default gateway is 10.0.0.10. So I am able to ping my default gateway. Okay, now let me ping R2. So ping 20.0.0.1. okay, I am able to ping 20.1. let me ping 20.2. I am able to ping 20.2. so I have reachability to R2. Now ping 30.1, 30.0.0.1. yes, I am able to ping 30.1. let me ping 30.2. I am able to ping 30.2. let me ping to my HTTP server. So IP address of my HTTP server is 40.0.0.1. just wait for some time. Now ARP is resolving, so one packet will drop, and now ping is successful. So I am able to access my HTTP server. I am able to ping my HTTP server, right. Now let me check I am able to ping my DNS server or not. 0.2. So yes, it's pinging. So OSPF configuration is done. Your task 1 is done. Now task 2. All PCs should be able to access DNS and DHCP server. Okay, yeah, these all PC can ping DNS and DHCP server. You can ping from PC2 as well, right. So ping 40.0.0.1, right? As you can see over here, I am able to ping from PC2 as well, right? Now let me enable DNS HTTP service over here, right? So to enable HTTP service on this server, I have to go in services, then HTTP, and you can see by default HTTP service is enabled, right? And this is your website. If you know the HTML coding, so this is HTML coding, you can manipulate this thing, right? So this is my website. Okay, let me change the name. Just I am giving name PM Networking. PM Networking. Okay. So, and what is the name of my website? Just suppose the name of my website is google.com. Okay. So I need to configure DNS, right? I need to configure DNS. Actually, what happened, guys? When we run here IP address of my HTTP server, so in browser, right? So I will access the HTTP service. Let me show you. I can access my HTTP server by IP address, right? Web browser, and IP address is 40.0.0.1. So as you can see over here, PM Networking, I am able to access my website, yes, but I am not able to access my website by domain name. So we need to configure DNS, right? So what I want if I enter www.google.com, then my website will open like www.google.com. So as you can see over here, now I am not able to access www.google.com. So we need to configure DNS, right? So go to DNS server, then services, then DNS service, and name. What is the name of your website? www.google.com. What is the IP address of google.com? 40.0.0.1, right? Add, save, fine. Now what will happen? Now when I type www.google.com in web browser of PC1, then PC1 will generate a traffic for DNS server that tell me the IP address of www.google.com, and then DNS server will give IP address to this PC, right? So that www.google.com IP address is 40.0.0.1, and then this PC will send HTTP request to HTTP server, right? 40.1. Okay, so let me show you, am I able to access my server by domain name or not? www.google.com. Just wait for some time. This machine is sending request to DNS server, and then DNS server will provide IP address, and this machine will send the actual request to HTTP server. Okay, I think it's not working. Go to DNS service. Okay, so as you can see over here, DNS service is off, right? So we need to turn on the service, right? And now again, now you can see I am able to access, right? You can access by PC2 as well. Go to web browser, www.google.com. As you can see over here, I am able to access my HTTP service at my website, right? Try it from PC3 as well, www.google.com. Okay, yeah, so I am able to access my website from these three users. I am able to access my HTTP server, right? So your task 2 is performed, your task 2 is complete, right? Now task 3 is enable telnet on router 3. Okay, so let me enable Telnet on R3. Go to R3. How can we enable Telnet? Enable password. Enable password. Password is 123. Just suppose username is CCNA and again password is 123. Right now line VTY 04 login local password 123. Fine. Exit. Now let me check I am able to access my route. Am I able to access router 3 from PC1 or not? So command to access is telnet. IP address of PC3 is router 3 is 30.2 30.0.0.2. Yeah, username is CCNA. Password is 123. Username is CCNA, password is 123. I am able to access my router. Run enable command. Enable. Now I am able to access R3. Yes, I can configure R3 from my PC, right? So IP interface brief, right? We can check IP address. We can do basic troubleshooting. But what my task is PC1 is not able to access R3, right? PC1 will not able to access R3 and perform this task by standard ACL. So what I will do, I will configure a standard ACL on R3. Okay, so exit. Access list 10 deny and host, which host 10.0.0.1. what I want 10.1 can't access R3 remotely by telnet via telnet. Okay, enter. You can see do so IP access list. Okay, so there is one entry in access list, sequence number 10 deny host 10.0.0.1. right now we need to go line VTY 04 and run one command access list access class 10 or in. Right, what is the meaning of this command, guys? What is the meaning of this command? Whenever any device want to access telnet line VTY 04, right? So this router will check ACL, right? ACL sequence number 10. If sequence number 10 is allowed, then only this router be allowed to access line VTY 04, right? Otherwise this PC will deny their traffic on R3, right? Just wait. Let me check again. Telnet 30.u. As you can see over here, connection refused by remote host. Now this PC is not able to access R3 via telnet, right? So my task 3 is performed. But let me access router 3 from PC2. So let me try to access PC3 from PC2. Telnet 30.0.0.2. So as you can see over here, my PC2 and PC3 is also not able to access my router 3. So what we need to do, we need to permit 10.2 and 10.3, right? We need to permit 10.2 or 10.3. So access list 10 permit host 10.0.0.2 and 10.0.0.3. Fine. Now do so IP access list. You can see over here there is 3 entry, and for sequence number 10, this host 10.0.0.1 match is 5 times. That means 5 traffic has come for tailnet sequence number with sequence number 10, right? Okay, so now am I able to access R3 from PC2? Yeah, now I am able to access my router 3 from PC2. Username was CCNA, right? Password was 123. Enable password is 123, right? Now our third task is confirm, because this 2 PC is able to access R3 but 10.1 is not able to access R3. Fine. Is it clear to you? Now next task is PC1 must not be able to access R3 via telnet. Implement standard ACL. So I implement standard ACL and my PC1 is not able to access. Now task 5 is PC1 must not be able to access HTTP server, and condition is apply extended ACL, right? Apply extended ACL. So now this PC is able to access my HTTP server. Yes, you can see www.google.com. Yes, I am able to access my website, but what I want to perform task number 5, and task number 5 is this PC must not be able to access my HTTP server and implement extended ACL, right? So to perform this task we have to go on R1. Actually I am going to configure extended ACL on R1, right? So let me configure extended ACL here. Global configure mode, access list 101, right? Access list, and when you enter the question mark you will see if you want to create extended ACL, so range will be 100 to 199. So I am taking 101. That means I am configuring extended ACL, right? Now deny TCP host is 40.0.0.1 and equal to port number 80. Access list 101, deny TCP host 40.0.0.1 equal to a destination network. Let me check. Host is 10.0.0.1. My host is 10.0.0.1, right? Equal to port number 80, right? And then destination address is 40.0.0.1, right? 40.0.0.1. Now run. Destination wildcard mask is 0.255.255.255. Enter, right? Now you can see show IP access list. So yes, there is one entry that www website, for www website, because actually you can say www and port number as well. So I assign port number, so it's this extended ACL will block for the port number 20, right? Now I have to call this ACL on interface. So if I configure on interface fast Ethernet 0/0, direction will be in, right? Because traffic will come from here and enter in this router, right? And if I call this ACL on this interface, then my exit interface will be out. Then I will configure on out, right? So okay, I am going to configure on this interface. So direction will be in, right? So direction will be in. So go to interface fast Ethernet 0/0, configure interface fast Ethernet 0/0, right? And IP access list, access group 101, and direction will be in. Okay, now am I able to access my HTTP server from here? www.google.com. No, I am not able to access HTTP service from PC1, right? So what is my next task? Next task is PC2 and PC3 must be able to access HTTP server, right? So yes, this PC is already able to. You don't need to configure anything to perform last task. www.google.com. Okay, so we need to say that permit. Okay, I have to permit 10.2, right? Access list 101. Okay, permit 10.0.0.2. permit IP any. Okay, so I permit all except 10.1. www.google.com. Yes, now I am able to access my HTTP server. Yes, now this PC can also access HTTP server. Yes, right? So guys, this is how we configure standard and extended ACL in our network, right?